Okay, this is just going to be an update on what's going on. Again, just to document what's happening. So yesterday they were hammering on and off lately. They would hammer for a few seconds and then stop. And it would always be that way, a few seconds, then they would wait a few hours and start again. It got to the point, and then they started banging on the walls and thumping, and I just started shouting. I started shouting and, screaming and cursing, and of course, people would have heard me out in the hallway, and now I just, they provoked me, and I gave them what they wanted, because then I look bad. They want to say, see how crazy this person is, see how this, see how that. Right. So today, they're going to try to make this quarantine, this lockdown as stressful as possible. So a while back, I spoke about this business that my mother she had wanted to use. It's not a legitimate doctor's office. It is a medical service, but it's not really a necessary medical service. It's kind of like an add-on where, they offer treatments and, these kind of almost quackery treatments that, they might help a little bit, but they don't really help. And, even I'd be surprised if they help at all. But, it's a for-profit. In America, we have for-profit healthcare, so they get paid by insurance if they can convince insurance that they're necessary. And that happens, actual doctors who provide necessary services can't get covered by insurance, right? So people get covered by insurance for quackery, but those who need real medical care can't get that real medical care. It's crazy. Anyway, she signed up with them, of course. They go to people who are easy to manipulate, and, oh, you need our services, definitely. And then, of course, those people, oh, yes, I need your services. Okay, well, I think, I don't know if they're being, I don't know how they're charged, if they're, or if they bill insurance for each visit. I don't know how the billing works, but I'm pretty sure they just want us to come because of the billing. These are the people who kept showing up at our door before, and they would come, but really, literally to the door, knock and say, can she come today? Can she come today? Does she want to come today? Once they even said, she has an appointment today, can she come? And I said, no, she doesn't. She didn't have an appointment scheduled today. So the way they worded it, they made it seem like she had an appointment scheduled when she initially didn't. She wasn't aware of it. They scheduled her without telling her, and then showed up at the door saying, can she come? Acting as if she should have known about the appointment, or that she was just blowing off her appointment when she wasn't. She didn't know about it until they came to the door and told her. So, she got angry. She didn't like being put on the spot, and that puts me on the spot too, because then I have to get her ready, on short notice, and it never works out well. So I had a chat with them. I said, look, can you just not show up at the door and say you have an appointment today when you know that she didn't, and expect her to come that day? The woman said, fine. And then a little while later, another person came. Knock, knock, knock. Can she come today? God bless it. So I spoke about this in another video. Finally, they agreed to not come by and knock on the door and pull that garbage. So what they're doing now is calling, and what they're doing is they're scheduling her for appointments without telling her, and then they're calling the same day and saying, you have an appointment today, we'll see you then, let us know if you can't come. But and some of them actually word it in a way where they're not making it seem as if she should have known about the appointment. They'll say, you've been scheduled for today. So that's a little more honest, I think, but some of them will just all out say, you have an appointment today, we'll see you then, making it seem like she had an appointment that she should have known about, and that, if she calls to cancel, she's yet again canceling again, when in fact, she didn't know about the appointment until they called the same day. And she's told them in the past, and we'll get to that. So it was yesterday or the day, I think it was yesterday, where they called and they said, you have an appointment today, we'll see you later. And she called back and said, she left a message on the answering machine saying, look, I'm not going to come today. Let's do this for next week instead, right? Because she doesn't like to be put on the spot, and then I don't want to have to get her ready on the spot, because it never works out well. It never does. So they called, they called back and they left a message saying, okay, we'll call back to schedule an appointment. We didn't get it until late, so they called. It was too late to call them back at that point that night. So they called back this morning and left a message on the answering machine saying, you have an appointment for today. We'll see you then. Call us if you can't make it. She literally told them yesterday, make it for next week. And in the past, she said, do not call the same day and schedule us the same day, or schedule me the same day. So she called back today and canceled. And, it makes it seem like, once again, she's canceling, but she's really not canceling an appointment she had. She didn't know she had the appointment. She didn't have the appointment until this morning. They scheduled her and then called her the same day. And, of course, she's not going to do that. So she's canceling again. This is just to make lockdown as stressful as humanly possible for everybody involved. Well, for at least for us too. And they're pulling this crap a day after the massive provocations yesterday, when they did get me shouting and cursing. Just to keep that stress level high. I was going to make a longer video regarding a few other topics, but I just don't have it in me to do that. I haven't actually last night I did get some sleep, luckily, but for over a week I haven't gotten more than 2 hours of sleep each night. And I've just been waking up and then, not maybe sleeping for 2 hours, waking up and not being able to fall back asleep. So I have been exhausted. Luckily, I did get some sleep last night, so I'm somewhat coherent today and can make this video. I'm hoping with it, at some point in the next week, I'll be able to make a longer video on a topic that I wanted to speak about. We'll see. Peace.